Do you remember the day someone chose you, and you felt like the most important thing in the world? I do. It was the day she found me. But I didn't know then that this would also be the first step toward being forgotten. I still remember the soft glow of the shop lights. I was hanging there, surrounded by hundreds of other dresses, each of us hoping to be noticed. My fabric felt smooth, my lace shimmered under the light, and my veil rested gently on my shoulders. Every time the door opened and a new bride-to-be walked in, my heart would race. Would she be the one? Would I finally get to live my purpose? Then she walked in. Her eyes scanned the room, nervous yet excited. She had that kind of smile, the one that comes from imagining a future. The shop assistant led her down the aisle of dresses, and for a moment I thought she would pass me by. But then she stopped. Her hand reached out, brushing against my sleeve, and in that instant I knew it was me. She had chosen me. "Can I try this one?" she asked, her voice trembling like a whisper. When she stepped out of the changing room wearing me, the whole shop seemed to pause. She looked at herself in the mirror, her eyes welling up. "This is the one," she said. I wish I could tell you how it felt in that moment. The joy, the pride, the sense that I had finally found my purpose. I was no longer just a dress on a hanger. I was hers. But here's the thing. You never know when the happiest day of your life might also be the beginning of the end. And if I had known where I'd end up years later, maybe I would have begged her not to take me home. The weeks that followed were magical. She would take me out of the bag, stand in front of the mirror, and practice walking slowly. Sometimes she would spin around, letting my skirt flow like a cloud. I could hear her humming love songs, rehearsing her smile. "Do you think love lasts forever?" she asked her friend one day, while trying me on. Her friend laughed. "Of course. You're getting your fairy tale." If only they knew how fairy tales often end. Every stitch on me was perfect. My lace sleeves framed her arms. My bodice fit her like a secret made just for her, and my train flowed behind her like a river of silk. Even the shop tailor whispered, "You look like a princess." I believed her. But here's a question for you. Do you still remember the thing you loved most years ago? Or has it been buried somewhere in your life? Forgotten? Finally, the big day arrived. Morning light spilled through the window as she took me out of my cover for the last fitting. Her hands trembled, not from fear, but from the excitement of a day she had dreamed of since childhood. Her mother helped zip me up. Her father peeked in and gasped, covering his mouth. And then the doorbell rang. The photographer had arrived. Flashes of light captured every detail of me. My pearls, my lace, my shimmering white fabric. She twirled. She laughed. She held her bouquet tight. The smell of fresh roses filled the room. I felt like I was glowing. And when she walked down the aisle, every head turned. Gasps, whispers, smiles. I could hear them all. She was breathtaking. I was part of her magic. The groom's eyes watered as he saw her. And in that moment, I thought, this is what I was made for. The ceremony was perfect. The vows, the rings, the kiss. I brushed softly against the ground as she walked out, holding his hand. Confetti rained down, the crowd cheered and music played. It was the happiest I had ever been. But happiness has a strange way of ending quietly, and I didn't know that something would happen that very night. Something that would lock me away for years. After the reception, after the laughter, after the dancing, I was carefully taken off. She placed me gently into a garment bag, whispering, "Thank you for making me feel beautiful." I thought it was just for the night. I thought she would take me out again soon, maybe on anniversaries, maybe to relive the memories. But the next time I saw light, it wasn't the warm sun, it was the dim light under her bed. Yes. She placed me in a box, folded, wrapped, sealed. I heard the tape rip across the top, and then silence. Days passed, then weeks, then months. The air became still. Dust began to settle above me. I waited. I hoped. I listened for her voice. But life went on without me. And here's the part that still haunts me. I could hear her footsteps sometimes. Laughter, conversations, music. But never for me. I don't know how long I stayed there before I realised the truth. I was no longer part of her life. I was a memory she had packed away. But one day, years later, I heard something different. Footsteps, slow, heavy. And then the sound of the box being dragged out. Who was it? Why were they opening it now? And was this the moment I would finally see her again? You'll find out in the next chapter, but I'll warn you, it wasn't at all what I expected. At first I thought it was her. Maybe she missed me, her dress. Maybe she wanted to see me again, to remember that magical day. My lace shivered with hope, but it wasn't her. The hands were younger, quicker. I was lifted out like any old thing. The air was heavier, dustier. This wasn't the same house anymore. Where was I? And where was she? Then I saw her again. Older now, quieter. Her smile carried years I didn't remember. She touched my lace and whispered, "I remember," before folding me down again. Why take me out only to hide me once more? The younger girl's voice broke the silence. "Wow, this is pretty. Can I try it on?" Her voice sharpened. "Number this stays in the box." What was she protecting? Me or herself? Her fingers lingered on my fabric, and suddenly the past came alive. Sunlight on my veil, the music before the aisle, the groom's cracking voice. The day life felt perfect. Do we know in those moments that everything is already changing? Or only later when we look back? I overheard them sorting through boxes, old photos, decorations, laughter. Then a word that cut me deeply. Decluttering. Was I clutter? That night she came back alone. She unfolded me completely, her hands trembling as they traced my pearls. She whispered, "I thought I'd wear you again one day. But life doesn't go the way you imagine, does it?" Her voice broke. And in that moment I understood. It wasn't me she couldn't face. It was the memories I carried, she admitted softly. The dress stayed perfect, but the marriage didn't. I wasn't just fabric, I was a time capsule of joy and heartbreak. The next morning, she hung me by the window, sunlight poured through me, and for a fleeting moment I was alive again. But then I saw the look on her face, the look of a decision made. She folded me back with care, slipped a card inside, whispered, "It's time." Time for what? The car hummed beneath me. Charity, storage, to be sold to strangers? The voices I heard next were warm, unfamiliar, vintage, beautiful. Someone will love this. And I realised I wasn't going home. I was going somewhere new. One question haunted me. If someone else wears me, will I still be hers? What happened after that changed everything. Because the person who opened my box the next day wasn't a stranger at all. And that's where the story truly begins. When it was over, a woman approached her, holding her piece of lace. She smiled shyly. "I start a new job on Monday," she said. "I'm scared, but I'm keeping this in my pocket, just in case." The daughter squeezed her hand. "It's not just lace," she said. "It's proof you can turn anything around." And me? I no longer feared being cut apart, because I understood now, memory doesn't live in the shape you're in. It lives in the lives you touch. I wasn't just a wedding dress. I wasn't just a suit. I was a story. And I wasn't fading anymore. Tell me if you had something in your life you thought was over, what would you turn it into? Because sometimes the most beautiful things aren't the ones we keep the same, but the ones we let change. If you like the video, please don't forget to like, subscribe and share the video. Press the bell icon for more updates.